Hello, welcome to LaunchLeft, a podcast label and launchpad for left-of-center artists. Don't forget, rate and subscribe, follow us on all socials at LaunchLeft. Today's very special guest is Courtney Barnett, and she will be joined by and launching Danny Cohen. Hi, Courtney, nice to meet you here.
You too.
I don't even know where to start, except that I want to start all the way back of just how music found you as a child.
I grew up in a household that was like not, my parents didn't play musical instruments, but they listened to quite a lot of music. Like there was music in our home a lot. And so that was probably my first kind of introduction. My dad, we got the first family CD player, and he listened to like a lot of jazz music, and so I just kind of listened to that, and then my brother, he's 4 years older than me, so I listened to his music, and he started playing guitar, so I wanted to learn guitar, and then that was kind of the beginning.
If your brother played guitar, was he left-handed too, or was that a difficult moment where you were like, I want to learn, I want to do it this way?
Yeah, no, he was right-handed, and that was just I would just like play the guitar the wrong way around. And every guitar that I came across was right-handed. So I just kind of was always awkwardly playing it. And then one day a family friend like gave me this like cheap guitar that they had, and someone helped me string it left-handed so I could learn how to play it properly.
Well, I'm left-handed, but I never had that opportunity. My brother played too, right-handed, and so I just learned, which meant that I never really became a proper guitarist, only enough to write songs, and then but so I can relate to that moment where the thing you want to do isn't strung correctly. So I love that by 8 somebody thought to string a guitar properly for your left-handedness. That's so cool. So yeah. You had support in your family to go the musical route.
Yeah, they were really supportive. I think I was just like obsessive, and I probably didn't stop talking about it. So someone probably did it to shut me up. I started getting a few lessons, and I think once I learned, 2 chords, I probably wrote a song. Because and then I like matched it. In school you did like, we were learning about poetry in school, so we had to like write poems for exercises, and so I probably just kind of paired the two together. I love music so much because once you like the struggle of learning how to do something and then finally achieving it, there's like this real joy that I feel in that. And I certainly remember when I finally learned how to play guitar and sing at the same time. That was a real day. That was a breakthrough day. And I never sung in front of anyone. I only did that in my room. But it was, it felt like a real achievement. And I think there's such a joy. Same as singing in a choir or making music with other people. There's something about when it all comes together, and when the pieces kind of come together, it feels really special.
Do you remember when you were first able to publicly sing and play in front of, whether it was your family or other people, without kind of hiding in your room?
It was a slow process. I think one time in grade 9, which is, I don't know, 14 or 15, I felt like a class project. We had to do a song, and I think I did a Purple Haze, and I think I might have sung that in class, but I was so nervous, and then I don't think I sung again until I was 18 or something. I felt like I was a guitarist and not a singer,
Well, I'm glad that you changed your mind on that. I think a lot of people are. I saw your film last night. You spoke at one point about those nights when you can get on stage and everything, all the energy is there and the crowd is there and you're there in the performance. It's just happening in real time and it's electric and it feels true. And then the nights where that just, no matter what, you feel like you're going through the motions and it's not authentic. Do you think that we can change that? Or is that just what it means to, be in the moment as a performer and have those experiences, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't?
When it happens, it's like it feels, it feels bad or hard or whatever the feeling is. But I think I probably wouldn't, there's no like need to change it, because I think there's something. So, like, obviously that happens for a reason and it's normal and natural, and it's just like, I think it's such a weird, like, magical kind of thing. I think it's so impossible to, like, define what that is and why it happens, and, like, how many factors are involved in that. Like, all the little moments that add up to whatever that mood or energy is. And whether it's just like the performers, what's going on in the performers like world, or if it's also, the energy of the crowd, the energy of the day, like the news of the day, like what everyone brings to the room with them. And obviously, yeah, it's just like it's hard to like to be able to figure it out, I think. So I don't know. I think as well, those moments are kind of humbling in a way, like it brings you back to something. But yeah, I'm sure they happen for a reason.
Yeah, it actually made me think about how the correlation between like a meditation where you really feel calmed and centered versus one where your mind can't stop, and the attachment to the one where you felt calm is partially why your mind can't stop that next time, is you want to get back to that. So hearing you say that, I totally agree. It's like it's not a nut that anyone needs to crack. It's like about maybe letting go.
That's probably what I've learned the most, or what I've where I've come to. It's like to just embrace those moments rather than be scared of them or fight against them. Just be like, well, this is a weird show or I'm in a weird mood or whatever, but it's just, I think not letting it, things fall apart.
Are there any one or two records that were incredibly formative for you as a kid growing up that kind of made you think, well, maybe I could do this? Or were you your own animal that was just doing it anyway, without any sort of signals?
No, definitely. I mean, we had because it was kind of, yeah, like I said, like the first family CD player. So we it was the start of a collection of CDs. I think me and my brother had 10 or 15 CDs between us. And my dad listened to a lot of kind of jazz and blues. And then me and my brother listened to Hendrix and Nirvana and Janet Jackson and No Doubt. Just it was kind of a bit of everything, really.
Do you still like CD the most to some extent as far as sonically, or do you have a preference of that, or LP or cassette? Or
I got a record player at home. I don't have a CD player anymore. Yeah, and then I travel so much, so I probably just listen to a lot of digital, streaming kind of stuff.
Well, I would love to meet Danny because I just watched your film last night. Yay! The beautiful film you both made, Anonymous Club. Danny, can I just start out by saying it's nice to meet you?
Nice to meet you.
And then immediately say that composition, for whatever reason, has become super important to me, as I am very visual when I see things, and every single shot of the film has the most beautiful composition. How did you all decide to even do this film?
Thanks so much for all those lovely words.
Yeah.
It's really, really sweet to say. I think it was kind of like a natural progression. Like Courtney and I have done a bunch of, sort of photos and music videos together, and the idea sort of came about, and we just kept talking about it. I think we kind of initially both bonded on how much inspiration we sort of draw from like artists, like creative processes. So I think we're both sort of really interested in why people create and why people kind of do what they do. That was kind of like a starting point, and I think we didn't really come back to that point probably till the edit. I don't know. It's just like, it's just, oh, that would be cool if we did that. And then we thought we'd give it a go for a few months. So I kind of went on tour, and we had the dictaphone sort of device going, and then we just sort of cut together like a little teaser just to see, if I could create that sort of mood that we were talking about. And then we just kept going for another 3 years, two and a half years. Yeah.
The dictaphone was a really nice part of it. And Courtney, your voice is beautiful, like voiceover. I'm like, can you do some voiceover acting or something? Because you're just so honest. You can hear, and I think that resonates with anyone, obviously, is someone being truly who they are and with all the vulnerabilities. So
I'll say something about the, like, reflecting on, I guess, loneliness or your own sort of journey as you're watching it. My editor and I kind of had planned to kind of make it as slow as possible, to kind of allow those sort of scenes to breathe. And but Courtney's journaling to kind of like, hang, that sounds negative, but just like, give it space to breathe so that you can kind of hear something and you've got time to think about it, and, try and hold on, like, lots of wide shots and stuff like that, just so you kind of discover things in the room. It's kind of like, in the vein of slow cinema, but definitely, not. But it was definitely meant to be meditative and something that you can kind of like reflect on and find things in yourself and all that sort of stuff.
I don't know, the collaboration answer, like,
yeah,
we talked a lot about things, but in the end, I trusted you to make like your own creative decisions.
Yeah. I think it, like, in the editing phase, that there's a point where you kind of have to, it needs a point of view, and like if it's kind of Courtney and I's combined point of view, maybe it like, gets a bit mixed, and it kind of felt like, in order for it to sort of sit a little bit outside Courtney as like, internal as we were with Courtney, I think it needed like a, whatever my perspective was on that story, that needed to be told over those 3 years. I think otherwise it's really difficult to kind of step out of your own body, and especially with the things Courtney's talking about, to decide what should and shouldn't go in to the film. So, I kind of like did my best to, put the hard bits in, because I think that, that there's a reward there in the film to go through that sort of journey. And I think you need to kind of see those moments that you can feel that Courtney's really going through something. And
was that hard for you, Courtney? Was that part of why it was kind of shelved for a minute?
Yeah. It was quite confronting to watch back. And I mean, it still is, but it's like, it's been an interesting journey for me, because obviously, like, even the way I see it compared to any other viewer is probably going to be like different. Like, we're all going to, come at it with different things. And for me, it's just like, yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and just, I think I've like learned a lot about myself, I think, as well, through seeing yourself through someone else's eyes, whether it's like, in a relationship or like through the lens of a camera with a documentary about you. Very revealing and very, so it was confronting for sure. Yeah.
So you guys are clearly friends and have known each other for a long time, or?
Yeah. I mean, probably, I don't know. I'm going to say 8 years.
Yeah, I was going to say 8 as well.
Wow.
Yeah, jinx. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Time
friends.
flies. Yeah, we are friends. Yeah.
That's good. Well, do you consider yourselves both members of Anonymous Club?
Yeah, I think everyone's a member. Really, I think anyone that lives.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I think everyone should be. So all of you out there watching, go watch Anonymous Club. It's really worth your time. It's quite beautiful. You both are quite beautiful. I feel so lucky I got to spend 30 minutes with you. And I hope whatever is your next project together or on your own, that it is fruitful and joyful and creates more joy in the world, because we need more right now.
Thanks so much for such thoughtful questions.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
LaunchLeft aims to create an intentional space that highlights and empowers all artists for whom radical creativity is not a choice, but a necessity. LaunchLeft begins with music, but its ultimate aim is to launch left-of-center artists in all creative fields.